In the twilight of the Ancients' dominion over the Pegasus Galaxy, a figure named Moros stood at the pillar of authority within the Council of Atlantis. Known later as Merlin, he held the esteemed title of High Counselor during the devastating war against the Wraith, a relentless enemy that drained life from entire worlds. His tenure in Atlantis was marked by a fateful encounter with Dr. Elizabeth Weir, who, through reckless ingenuity of the scientist Janus, arrived 10,000 years in the past via a time-traveling puddle jumper. Moros, ever vigilant about the sanctity of the timeline, forbade Weir from using Janus's outlawed technologies to return to her era, fearing the catastrophic ripples such an act could unleash. His stern rebuke extended to Janus himself, whose experiments with time manipulation Moros deemed a dangerous overreach of ancient knowledge. As the Wraith threat escalated, a massive fleet descended upon Lantia, the planet housing Atlantis, with no viable defense left. Moros issued the final somber command to abandon the city and evacuate to Earth, sealing the Ancients' retreat from Pegasus. Upon reaching Earth, Moros withdrew from the remnants of his people, seeking solitude and deep meditation. This introspective exile culminated in his ascension, a transcendence to a higher plane of existence where he shed from his corporeal form. Yet even among the ascended, Moros could not ignore the looming shadow of the Ori, a faction of ascended beings who demanded worship and wielded their power to subjugate entire galaxies. Convinced that their tyranny posed an existential threat, he made the extraordinary decision to descend back to mortality, retaining the vast knowledge and near-ascended abilities he had gained. On Earth he emerged as Merlin, later angelicized as Merlin, among the early inhabitants of Britain. Entrusting his secrets to King Arthur and a select cadre of noble knights, Merlin wove his legacy into the fabric of their burgeoning legend. Beneath Glastonbury Tor, he constructed the Avalon Cavern, a hidden sanctum filled with treasures and guarded by trials to test the worthiness of any who sought its secrets. A ring transporter, a hallmark of ancient technology, provided the only access to the subterranean vault. Merlin's mission on Earth took a clandestine turn as he labored to counter the Ori, employing a phase-shifting device, an invention that rendered him and his work invisible to the ascended others. He began crafting the Sangral, a weapon designed to neutralize ascended beings. This endeavor alarmed the others, who feared such a device could one day be used against them. To monitor him, they dispatched Ganos Lal, an ascended ancient who would later be known as Morgan Le Fay. Merlin's arrival from their days in Atlantis. Undeterred, Merlin completed the Sangral and relocated it to the village of Camelot, a site steeped in the mythology that he helped inspire. Morgan, tasked with thwarting him, eventually destroyed the weapon. Yet, in a twist of fate, she came to share Merlin's view of the Ori's danger. Instead of ending his life, she captured him, preserving his genius for a future reckoning. Morgan placed Merlin in stasis, concealing him with a secret network of planets, a circuit accessible only through a series of Stargate, ensuring that, should the Ori rise again, he could reforge the Sangral and complete his mission. Merlin's foresight proved precedent. Millennia later, when the Ori launched their crusade into the Milky Way, SG1 uncovered his stasis pod on a distant world within Morgan's planetary circuit. Revived from his ancient slumber, Merlin aided Daniel Jackson and the team in reconstructing the Sangral, adapting his vast knowledge to finish what he'd begun. His final act was to see the weapon deployed through the Supergate to the Ori galaxy, where it eradicated the malevolent ascended beings, fulfilling his long-held purpose. Those physical forms succumbed to the ravages of time shortly after. Merlin's legacy endured as a testament to his unrelenting resolve. In a daring heist, Vala Maldoran, a cunning and resourceful adventurer, pilfered a tablet inscribed with the cryptic script of the Ancients, an advanced race whose knowledge and technology had shaped the galaxy for millennia. This artifact revealed tantalizing clues about a vast treasure concealed on Earth, etched into its surface by a figure named Merlin. Dr. Daniel Jackson, a brilliant archaeologist and linguist of Stargate Command, unraveled the tablet's secrets and made a startling connection. Merlin was none other than Merlin, the legendary wizard of Arthurian lore. Further research confirmed that Merlin was among the Ancients who, over 10,000 years ago, fled the Pegasus galaxy in the relentless pursuit of the Wraith, returning to Earth after abandoning their fabled city of Atlantis. Merlin, it seemed, had woven his advanced knowledge into the fabric of human myth, leaving behind a legacy that bridged history and legend. Determined to locate his hidden trove, the team pinpointed two promising sites steeped in Arthurian mystique: Glastonbury Tor, a hill in England long associated with mystical significance, and the island of Avalon, a place shrouded in tales of enchantment. Armed with cutting-edge Asgard sensor technology aboard the Prometheus, a Tari vessel gifted with alien advancements, Colonel Cameron Mitchell led Daniel, Teal'c, and Vala on the mission. Using ancient transportation rings, they descended into a sprawling subterranean cavern beneath Glastonbury Tor. There they encountered an awe-inspiring sight, a sword embedded in a stone, its blade glinting faintly in the dim light, accompanied by a shimmering holographic projection of Merlin himself. The hologram, an echo of the ancients' consciousness, addressed them as if they were knights of the Round Table, successors to a noble lineage tasked with safeguarding his secrets. Merlin's message was clear: only those who possessed truth of spirit and wealth of knowledge could claim the treasure hidden within the underworld vault vault. This hoard, he reveled, was the stonehouse of riches amassed by Ambrosius Aurelianus, a historical figure some scholars link to the origins of King Arthur. The cavern, it turned out, was more than just a mere hiding place. It was a proving ground designed to test the worthiness of those who sought the ancient's legacy. As the team stood before the sword, the weight of their discovery settled in. This was no ordinary treasure hunt. It was a journey to the intersection of human history and extraterrestrial influence, a challenge left by an ancient who had shaped Earth's myths to protect his knowledge from falling into unworthy hands. For Mitchell, Daniel, Teal'c, and Vala, the quest had only just begun, with Merlin's trials promising to push their intellect, courage, and integrity to the limit. It later came to light that Morgan Le Fay had shattered the Sangral and locked Merlin in stasis. A millennium passed before SG1 stumbled upon Merlin and roused him from his slumber. He promised to forge a new Sangral, but his body, ravaged by time and stasis, was too frail. With his end nearing, Merlin transferred his consciousness into an ancient knowledge repository, betting that an SG1 member would tap into it, which Dr. Daniel Jackson eventually did. So Merlin faded, having lived 4 distinct lives in Atlantis, on Earth among the Ascended, and in Arthur's court, lamenting the time always slipped away too fast. Yet Merlin endured within Daniel's mind. When Daniel was nabbed along with the Sangral, Merlin shielded him from Adria's sway. Together they hatched a scheme to fire the Sangral through the Supergate into the Ori galaxy. Once SG1 cleared the wormhole jamming it, Merlin burned himself out to power Daniel up for the Supergate activation. Though he could have seized Daniel's body, he mostly stayed in the background, guarding Daniel and reconstructing the weapon, only stepping in briefly to sway SG1 with the truth. He perished when his built-in failsafe reset Daniel to normal, but not before Daniel launched an Ori warship, weapon primed through the Supergate. Daniel later told SG1 and Jack O'Neill that Merlin was gone, having given his all to secure their gambit. They didn't know it then, but Merlin and Daniel's push had wiped out the Ori. Months later, Daniel started having dreams hinting at the Ark of Truth, with Merlin popping up in them. He figured they were clues Merlin had planted. On a planet in the Alteran home galaxy, a vision of Merlin confirmed they were on the right path, and another guided him to the Ark's hidden spot. When torture left him broken, Merlin appeared again, posing as an ascended being until Daniel clocked it. Merlin was dead, not ascended. It was Morgan Le Fay, cloaking herself as Merlin to aid them on the sly. Dodging the others' notice, she admitted she had once clashed with Merlin over the Ori, but later saw he was right, quietly steering them to complete his mission. With Morgan's aid, SG1 finished Merlin's work, crushing the Ori. She took down the last Ori, Adria, by locking her in an endless duel, sacrificing herself. Using the Ark, SG1 exposed the Ori's lies to their followers, halting their reign for good. So what did you guys think of everything there is to know about Merlin? Please let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Sith Citadel Discord, links in the description, and consider becoming a join member or sending a super thanks if you wish to further support the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.